everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and I am going to do a Q&A today. I am combining all the questions that I got about Olivia and just the general Q&A that I had posted. So the first one up is from Paula. She said, "Hi, I would like to see pictures of you two growing up so we can see if Olivia looks more like Johnny or you when you were little, and how did Johnny and you meet?" So I grabbed a bunch of photos. I'm ready for this question. I'll hit up the second question first. We ended up meeting in high school, so we were high school sweethearts. We actually ended up having a Spanish class together for an entire year, never spoke to each other, but always thought the other one was cute. So he was always the cute boy in my Spanish class, and he was checking me out at the same time. And then that summer, after we spent a year kind of crushing on each other, that summer we ended up both working at Ruby Tuesday. I don't think we ever talked that entire year. I think we might have bumped into each other and like apologized, and that's as far as it went that whole year. But we worked together, became instant best friends. We were just really inseparable, really quick. It was one of those situations where I just knew. I was totally head over heels in love with him before our first kiss. And so the rest is history from that point. Looking at pictures, I've got a bunch of pictures of Johnny and a bunch of pictures of me. I have a window right here, so I don't know. Hopefully you guys can see. So this is a really good one of him. Yeah, see, I'm getting a glare on these. We're gonna try a different way since I'm getting a glare. I'll go ahead and insert like a separate clip for you guys. This one is with him, you know, being very serious, so you can really get to see his facial features in that one. And I wanted to show you guys this one because it really just shows his personality. So this is a photo of his grandparents with him and his brothers, and he's the only one goofing off. He's always cracking jokes. He's always being a goofball. And then here's a couple of baby photos to look at. And then as for photos of me, I have the ones of me scrapbook. So some of these are my favorite photos of me. There's one that just shows my smile really big. And then here's one with a more serious face on there. I'm stuffing my face with Oreos, which are still one of my favorite cookies. Then here's my favorite photo of me as a little girl. I think I was about 2 in this picture. It's just me and my grandpa Max, and he has since passed, but I just love, love, love this photo. I'm just 1 year old in this photo. You can go back and look at Olivia's photos. Oh, I have one of Johnny as a baby as well. You can see him as a little teeny tiny baby. And then I've got one of me that I think you'll clearly see the resemblance in this photo. I flipped through finding photos, and then I saw this one. I was like, dang, she looks a lot like me. Of course, I want to know what you guys think. Does she look more like me? Does she look more like Johnny? I think her personality is so much more like him than mine. She's just a big goofball, and she doesn't take a whole lot super seriously, which is great. She has a great go with the flow attitude like him. She'll do these smirks and it looks just like him. I swear she's just a clone of him personality-wise sometimes. So thank you so much, Paula, for that question. I loved being able to share some of those photos with you. So I'm gonna move on to the next question. Linda Gonzalez asks, "I know you have mentioned before about you feel content with one child, but now that she's in school and you have your own house, have you thought about having more children in the future?" And I mentioned this in a previous video, kind of recently, I think. I don't know which one it is, but I am definitely thinking about it. It's something we're talking about a lot. At this point in time, we're at the age gap that I really wanted. I really wanted them to be 3 to 5 years apart. I knew I didn't want teeny tiny babies even from the beginning. And so we're definitely talking about it. We're definitely thinking about it. I will definitely take you guys along on the journey if we choose to go there. So Nylan asks, I hope I said that right, what's a meal that Johnny can cook that you enjoy? So Johnny cannot cook. I think he could if he tried, but he does not do any of the cooking. He can reheat leftovers really well. He can make boxed things. He can make boxed mac and cheese. He can make cans of soup and heat them up, but he doesn't do any kind of from scratch cooking at all. So when I saw this question come up, I laughed so hard because I was thinking like, what could he cook? He can cook ramen noodles, like really simple things. I think if he got into the kitchen and he tried, he would be really good at it. He's just that kind of person that if he puts his mind to something, he excels at it usually. He can peel potatoes really well. He's always the one that peels potatoes. He just does it so much better than me. I don't know what it is about being left-handed. I do have a peeler that has like a sharp edge on both sides, but it still takes me so long to peel potatoes, and he just zips through it. So he's always the designated potato peeler. And also going along with that, I do 99.9% of the cooking, but he does 99.9% of the dishes and the cleanup, which means everything to me because I actually enjoy cooking. I don't enjoy the cleanup. Like, who enjoys the cleanup? And he does that part. So that's way more important to me than him doing the cooking part. He'll go get takeout if I don't feel like cooking. He never ever complains about what I do cook either, which is also like really pleasant. My mom was always really critical of everything that I cooked, so it's really nice that he keeps his mouth shut. Like, the worst thing that he'll say is, I'd prefer not to have that again, and that's like as bad as it ever gets. And when he does that, I was like, oh, he hated it. So I know, I know what he means. So Amanda B says, yay, more videos, love all your videos, thank you. And she says, I'd love to hear more about the Instant Pot. So I want to touch on the Instant Pot a little bit. I've been doing a lot of Instant Pot recipes. It's just a pressure cooker. Now, my mom had a big pot pressure cooker. You stick it on the stovetop and you use your stovetop heat, and it heats up and creates the pressure inside the pot. And pressure cooking cooks food so much faster because it's under that pressure, and it just cooks really insanely fast. Like, with beans, you have to soak them and you have to boil them forever. With the Instant Pot, you throw them in the pot with the water. You turn it on, an hour later, you have perfectly cooked beans. So it's just incredible how much faster it makes things. I find that I don't have to baby things. I make clam chowder, and when I'm doing it on the stovetop, it can take me like a good hour start to finish. With the Instant Pot, it takes me less than 30 minutes and I can have a delicious clam chowder on the table. It does take some time to come to pressure sometimes, but you're not sitting there babying it, you're not sitting there stirring, hoping it doesn't boil over, and all the stuff that entails, stovetop cooking. Another thing that it does really well is cooking meats. It just, I don't know what it is about the pressure, but it tenderizes the meat. The one thing with the Instant Pot though is you don't want a quick release when you're cooking meat. It takes the moisture out of the meat and makes it tougher. So if you're cooking any sort of meat dish in the Instant Pot, let it just come down from natural pressure for 15 or so minutes, and then you can do the little quick release knob. I just really love the Instant Pot. If you guys want me to do like a beginner level Instant Pot where I just show you the features and show you, how to use it, I would love to do that if there's any interest in that. It's just something that has changed my cooking quite a bit. I use it for lots of things, including like just cooking rice. I have just loved my Instant Pot. It's a game changer in the kitchen for me. Miss Smith 056 says, what do you and hubby do to keep the romance in your marriage now that you have Olivia? And not that you can replace your fur babies, trust me, I know, but have you thought of getting another dog in the future? So I'll touch on the first one and then I'll hit up the second one. I'm sure I'm with a lot of people when I talk about these early years are just really hard. They're hard on your body, especially when you're breastfeeding. They're hard emotionally and physically and mentally. One of the things we did was we did date nights at home. So we didn't go out on dates. I would still recommend going out on dates, but we dated each other at home too. So we're trying to keep the spark alive and everything, but it's tough. It's really tough when you have a little kid. At the end of the day, being home with her all day, I'm exhausted. I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be talked to for a while after she's down for bed. That's part of the stuff that's come back naturally the older she has gotten. So now that she's in preschool especially, we're going on dates. She's at school, we're able to date again, and that's been amazing. I would definitely recommend, if you can afford it, if you have the energy, I would definitely recommend dating your spouse. So moving on to the next part of the question, have you thought about getting another dog in the future? We have, and we're not interested right now. I know I've touched on this in some other video, going back to wanting another child. We are thinking about having a second child, and I would love to do the newborn thing without dogs. And that's a big part of, I think, what made the newborn stage so hard for me specifically was because we had 4 dogs. I was taking care of 4 dogs and a newborn, and of course dogs don't need as much as a newborn does, but they still need a lot. Dogs are like perpetual babies, they need a lot. They need a lot of attention, a lot of care. They were so hairy, and I was vacuuming all the time and always worried about the dog hair being on her. And I would love to do the newborn thing without that kind of complication on it. So I think we will get a dog in the future, way out in the future. Adrian asked a great question related to preschool. What do you / will you do to keep busy when Olivia is gone? And I'm doing May and going crazy, just sitting at home. I definitely feel you with that one. First of all, congratulations. May is right around the corner, so you won't be bored for long, trust me. Going from having Olivia here all day, every day, to having this preschool time, I was a little bit scared, like, what am I going to fill my time with? I don't want to just sit around and do nothing. I do like to keep busy. I really dove into doing YouTube again, and that's been really fun to have that creative outlet and being able to dedicate more time to it, like I'm filming now because Olivia's in preschool, and so that's been really fun to reignite that passion. I have not done so much in scrapbooking, but I have been printing my photos to catch up with my photos. I just haven't really felt crafty. I've also done projects around the house because, you know, we just moved a few months ago. Now I think we're coming up on 6 months actually, but I feel like we just moved in, so there's a lot of things I want to organize and kind of redecorate. I want to get furniture for this room. I've really been planning out stuff for the house. I've also been able to keep up with my cleaning really well, so I can just knock that out when she's in preschool versus I'm trying to squeeze it into a quiet time or do it while she's awake. There's just so many things that when she's not here I can accomplish. So I have also treated myself to Starbucks. I thought maybe I would work on editing, go sitting in a Starbucks or sitting in some restaurant that has Wi-Fi, because I think that would be a really fun thing to do. I've also been able to go grocery shopping all by myself, and it's been so nice to be able to just go in and not have that pressure of her wanting my attention the whole time, or keeping her entertained, or her wanting extra things that aren't on the list. It's just been really nice to be able to peruse as long as I want to. And I've also been going on dates again, which has been so nice. And also, I want to say thank you for all the topic ideas. I really like the ones that you left there, so I have them on my list already. Tracy from Nova Scotia Living asks some random questions. She says, favorite movie, book, holiday food, etc. So I'll hit on those. I've got a couple of favorite movies. I really like Edward Scissorhands. I really like Lion King. I like Love Actually. I love Les Miserables. I really like the first Twilight movie. Like, I could watch that thing over and over. I just really, really like that one. These are hard when I try to pick like only one. My favorite book, I really loved Crime and Punishment. And I'm sure I'm saying this wrong. The Brothers Karamazov from Dostoevsky. I really liked a bunch of his books, actually. I've read quite a few of those ones. I don't know of any like recent books I really liked. I can't think of the word now. I had to look it up. I haven't watched the movies, but I loved the Divergent books. And I heard that the movies like fizzled out. I don't know if they ended up filming all of them, but I loved that series especially. I haven't done a whole lot of reading recently because I just really like that kind of book where it like takes you to another whole dimension. Favorite holiday, I really like Thanksgiving. I just love that it's about food and family, and it's always been just one of my favorites. I loved cooking with my family growing up. We usually just celebrate with us because it's so close to Christmas. We usually just have solo Thanksgiving, but I still just love it. I still love making the casseroles and doing the traditions. My favorite food would be sushi, and I like the cooked things. So anything that's cooked is delicious. I could eat sushi every day for lunch. It's just one of my favorite things. Tracy also has some other questions. Where would you travel if money were no object? I just want to live on a beach. That's my whole goal in life, is to move to a beach. I hope that we retire on a beach somewhere. So I just love any beach. It doesn't matter what beach it is. I want to be on the beach. Do you sleep with the door open or closed? I really prefer the door closed. Would you ever go skydiving? So this is a fun one. I don't know if I would go skydiving or bungee jumping or anything like that, but I've done one of those slingshot ones where it's two people in like the round cage thing, and it slingshots you up and down and it kind of rotates. I've done that one and I really liked that, but that one I felt like was more protected because you're in that big steel cage if anything goes wrong. The other ones, I would be really nervous about something going wrong. I won't say never because you never know, but right now I would say no. If you have other questions for me, leave them in the comment section down below and I will try to do another one of these Q&As for you guys. I really enjoy doing these kind of videos and I really appreciate the suggestions for different topics that I can make videos on because I really like filming what you guys want to see. I obviously will film things that I want to film, but I'd really like to cater it towards what you guys prefer to see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.